Welcome to the Rebel.media. You know, since 9/11, we've all had to learn a lot of Arabic words like jihad, holy war, or mujahideen, someone who fights the jihad. We've learned a couple of words also in Arabic that revert to how women are put under gender apartheid. Niqab and burqa. I remember the difference. Niqab starts with the letter N, like ninja. It's when you just see the eyes. Burqa starts with a B. It's like a beekeeper. It's the one with the grill on the face. Well, these words are back in the news in Canada today. Marissa Semke, great to see you again.
Thank you.
From the Sun News Network, you're an alumna there, and you're with us today on the Rebel.media. Why are those words, niqab and burqa, back in the news in Canada?
Well, it's been in the news for about a week now, and I'll say just very quickly, last week, the federal court struck down a prohibition on wearing the niqab, that full face covering that's forced upon by some Muslim women. I'll say forced, and I'll explain why I say that in a second, but the federal court struck that down. And so now, this was a ban that was implemented by Jason Kenney back in 2011. The Conservatives have said they will appeal this so that when you are giving your citizenship, when you are coming into this country and you are giving that citizenship oath, your face should be shown. Now, I say forced upon some Muslim women for a reason. The woman who brought this to court, Ezra, would say, I wear this completely voluntarily, but you do have to wonder, you know, this idea that's ingrained in women from a very young age, is it truly voluntary?
Yeah. So to be crystal clear, there is no ban on dressing like a ninja or a beekeeper in Canada. I see them every day. The ban was just for that one government procedure, swearing your oath of loyalty to Canada, and it's that Canadian moment. So you can dress like a ninja, you can wear a mask on your face. Those are un-Canadian things, by the way, to hide your face in public. And frankly, if I had a jewelry store or a bank and someone wanted to come in with a face mask, we know for a fact that people sometimes use that as a trick to commit robberies. But even if they didn't, we believe in seeing someone else, seeing their eyes, seeing their face. It's an expression of our humanity.
And the federal Conservatives have said, absolutely not. We are going to appeal this ruling because we believe it's offensive. That when you want to come into this country, it is a gift. It's something you need to fight for. It's something you need to be proud of. And we are giving you this opportunity, and part of that opportunity is equality. So we find this offensive. Yeah. Well, yesterday we heard from Justin Trudeau after question period, and here's what he said.
Certainly, as a Quebecer, I understand how important it is to protect minority rights in this country. And any time a government or a leader is in a position to choose to limit minority rights of any type, there has to be a very good justification, a clear and compelling reason to do so. And the reason the Prime Minister gave last week for appealing the court's decision around the niqab was, to my mind, not at all justifying the Prime Minister's position.
All right, so he thinks it's a minority right to wear a niqab, and perhaps it is from one point of view, but what about the rights of women to be Canadian instead of wearing a body bag? I think of Aqsa Parvez, the young Muslim girl who wanted to be free, wanted to be a Canadian, wanted to feel sunlight on her face, but her dad murdered her, just like the Shafia women, a quadruple homicide. Dad murdered them because they wanted to be Canadian. That's that compulsion you were talking about, that duress.
Justin Trudeau and the politically correct crowd would have you believe that this is a veiled attack on freedom of religion. This actually has nothing to do with freedom of religion. This is about control. This is about power. This is about oppression.
There's nothing in the Quran that talks about face obscuring veils.
Tariq Fatah says it is a veil of lies. Don't take this Muslim man's word for it. Don't take my word for it. Here's what the Muslim Canadian Congress said about it.
Okay.
They said there is no requirement in the Quran for Muslim women to cover their faces, invoking religious freedom to conceal one's identity and promote a political ideology is disingenuous. Egypt's late sheikh, the highest Muslim authority a few years ago, came out and said there's absolutely no connection between this. So let's just be honest. This has nothing to do with freedom of religion and has everything to do with oppression of women and control.
Here's my worry, is that you've got a young woman immigrating to Canada, maybe from Somalia, Egypt, Afghanistan, Pakistan, whatever. They don't know the language too well. They don't have any friends here. They certainly don't know the Canadian law. Maybe they're not even that educated and wouldn't be able to read our laws. So they come here, they go to a mosque where an imam says, you've got to, first of all, there's gender segregated. You've got to wear a veil. You've got to do this. If they then go to a Canadian institution and see that the government institution is fine with that face obscuring veil and other attributes of gender apartheid, how on earth is that young, vulnerable Somali woman ever to assert her true rights as a free woman it's bad enough that her mosque might push her towards that, that a bully man in her life might put her toward that. But when she sees that these symbols of Canadian sovereignty say, oh yeah, you can wear that face mask because you're just a woman. Sharia law, a woman's testimony, only half that a man. That's why we've got to stand up to this.
Immigrants come here for opportunity, and at the heart of that is equality. There are some places where you just should not cover your face when you're voting, when you're buying alcohol, and when you come into this country to be a citizen.
I know that this is one issue where severely normal Canadians are maybe shy about saying it publicly, but in private they would all say, this is Canada, not Afghanistan. Women here are free. We do not put people in a niqab or a burqa. We do not have gender apartheid. There are some non-negotiables. Great Muslim women like Raheel Raza, one of my favorites, they are Muslim, they are women, and they do not have to be second-class citizens here. In Pakistan, maybe, but I can't do anything about that. In Canada, I think this is a 90% issue in the polls. It's not a left-wing or right-wing thing, it's a Canadian thing. That's where to you, Marissa.
I wonder if this will be made an election issue in the coming months. We will see as the campaign sort of evolves. But look, to be fair, this woman a woman that chooses to wear a niqab, she can go into a private room and show her face, but this is about being a community. This is about coming to Canada. What better way to show that you want to be Canadian than to unveil your face and leave the oppression behind?
Right, nice to see you.
Thanks, Ezra.
You're watching the Rebel.media.